What is going on, you guys? Blaze over here at Blue Chip Athletic Club, and today we're going to hit you with another quick episode. And this is going to be geared towards upgrading your productivity and unlocking some more time so that you can do more things that you love with people that you enjoy. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Here's a quote that we hear a lot here at Blue Chip, and it's "I don't have time to blank." It could be train, cook, track food, sleep, be mindful, whatever, fill in the blank. You hear it pretty much all around you, I'm sure, as well. And it's something that is never ending. Time demands are going to be something that's always going to continue to creep into your life, whether you're young, whether you're old, you have kids, you don't have kids. You're never going to have more time in your life than you do right now. So, what I want to do is make sure that you're able to make time for the things that matter most to you. Whether that's, spending time with friends or family, watching the Super Bowl, kind of whatever that is, and make sure that that's something that we can make into a priority. Make sure that you're as productive as possible so that you can enjoy all those, countless seconds, the precious ones that you have with the people that you want to be around. So, what I want to do is point out that you have the same amount of time in your day as these four people had in theirs. Historical figure X, Y, or Z, doesn't really matter who it is. And that number is 86,400 seconds. You have 86,400 seconds per day. And you really have to be able to make them count to be productive, to make sure that you're able to unlock that extra time that you may or may not have. It's about being really efficient. It's about managing your time appropriately. And what I want to do is make sure that we can help you get closer to your goals by implementing a couple of small things that can really, really change and upgrade your productivity, as well as the way that you make priorities versus non-negotiables. So we're going to get into that first. So I want to talk about these two key points: priorities and non-negotiables. Non-negotiable, the way I define it, and obviously this isn't in the urban or in the dictionary this way, but a non-negotiable is a hill that you'll die on. Non-negotiable is something that you will, no matter what, you're going to make X, Y, or Z thing happen. A priority is something that you need to get done, likely in some sort of order of precedence. So it's some sort of a task. Maybe you've got a to-do list. Maybe you're somebody who operates that way. Your to-do list may be ordered in order of precedence of things that's important, or maybe it's just a jumbled mess, likely how mine is most of the time, written on random sticky notes and index cards all over the office. But the difference between these two things is something that's really important to understand, and we're going to kind of get into it here. So here's a couple examples for non-negotiables for myself. I have a non-negotiable per day, and these are two of them. One is read a minimum of one page every single day. And the second one is moving my body for a minimum of 5 minutes in a day. A couple priorities that I have, and just these are just random ones that I kind of pulled from things that we've done, are completing client check-ins and then creating a back pain management guide, which we have done. Please hit me up if you want access to that. We'll send it to you for free if you just send us a message on Instagram or kind of wherever you can get to us. So what I want to kind of point out is, do you see the difference? The difference between the two is really important to really read into and understand. One thing I want to draw your attention to is that in the non-negotiables that I have, it's not like I'm calling out this Herculean task of something that's going to be so insurmountable that I'm not going to be able to do it. Reading a minimum of one page every day in a book, it can take under a minute when you're sitting there in bed, whether you're tired, whether you woke up in the morning and did it early, wherever. And what that does is it really starts your day or finishes your day, or even in the middle of your day, gives you a win. It gives you something that you're going to have as a non-negotiable. I'm at least learning one page. I don't know what that's going to be of. Could be about a health and wellness topic. Could be about habit forming. Could be about, I don't know, puppies. Could be about kind of anything that you have in mind. But for me personally, I always want to be somebody who's continually growing, continually learning. And this is something that I decided is going to be a non-negotiable for me. The other one is moving your body for a minimum of 5 minutes. Now, think about this. For me, moving your body can be something as simple as you're standing at a desk or sitting at a desk, and you decide that you're going to bring your knee up on or excuse me, foot on top of your knee so you're able to stretch out your hips. If you're sitting there all day long and you do that for 5 minutes, boom, that's a win. Maybe you decide that you're going to get up and walk around for 5 minutes in the middle of your workday, boom, that's your win. Maybe you'll do 5 minutes of mobility before bed. Maybe you decide that you're going to go for a walk with your significant other, whatever that is. That is a non-negotiable for me because I don't want to spend an entire day where I'm so sedentary that I'm not able to hit that 5 minutes, get the blood flowing, and really start to build my creativity personally, as well as just other important, mental wins that I'm going to have. So what I want to kind of point out, these things build momentum. They're really, really small. We'll even call tiny habits that are going to be able to be baked into your life that you can make happen on a day-to-day basis. And that's going to be no matter what. It's really easy for me to find that 5 minutes. It's really easy for me to read that minimum one page of a book. And these are those things that I'm never going to let slip, whether it's Sunday at midnight and I just finished a night of drinking with my friends, or whether it's Monday morning and it's start of my work week. Either way, it's gonna happen. The next thing I want to talk about with the priorities. Typically, they're going to be ever changing, whether it's in a health and wellness journey, whether it's in something else. And basically, what I want to make sure that we realize is that this is something that's constantly going to be shifting. You're never going to have the same priority list. You're likely going to end up eliminating things off of it. So it's really important that you kind of reassess and actually reassess your non-negotiable as well as you kind of go through your journey so that you know what's the most important thing. Because at the end of the day, what I want to draw your attention to is that all this really comes down to this infamous quote. And it's the most important thing is to keep the most important thing, the most important thing, which is a lot of repeating the phrase important thing. But what I want to make sure that like everybody kind of understands is that, if you're somebody who's really, really fit, maybe like you're shredded up and you're 50 years old, they laid out non-negotiables when they were going through their journey. They're like, hey, maybe they're only going to go out with their buddies and have 2 drinks maximum when they go out. And they're like, hey, their buddy offers them a third drink, a shot. And they're like, hey, man, nope, this is my non-negotiable. This is where I kind of draw my line in the sand and this is where it's going to be. Maybe they decide they're going to train 3 times a week for 30 minutes for the rest of their life. And that's their non-negotiable. And that's the hill that they die on. And that's why they've got the result. Understand that your value and your ability to navigate your non-negotiables and your priorities is going to be what sets up your habits and then really forms your life as you kind of move forward. And what I want to do is help you kind of understand the best way that I've seen so far to kind of unlock this next level of productivity so that you can start to build out more time available to you as you're trying to figure this out. So what I want to do is talk to you about the Eisenhower time matrix. So you may or may not have heard about this chart. It's super, super simple, and it's broken down a couple different ways. So we've got urgent tasks here. We've got non-urgent tasks here. We've got important things and non-important things. And basically it breaks down into 4 different blocks. As you can see, they're color coded, makes it super simple, even for somebody like me. So we're going to kind of go through what that means and what it kind of looks like for you. So if you're somebody who has a task and you decide that it is something that is urgent and important, this is something that you're going to do. Green means go, baby. Do it because it's going to be important to you, and you need to get it done, whether it's right now or in the near future. The next block is going to be a non-urgent task, but it's important. So this is when you're going to decide. You're going to decide, you're going to schedule it. You're going to make a decision on when it'll be done. It's basically going to navigate and fall into your priorities list. You can kind of think of these 2 things as non-negotiables for the do's. Some priorities will kind of mold into here, and then typically the non-urgent important things will likely end up being your priorities kind of as you're moving through your day or as you're moving through your week. The next one is going to be the delegation side. So this is going to be something that's urgent, so it needs to be done soon, but it's not very important. So if you're somebody who has a team, maybe you're a parent and you've got kids, this is something where you could potentially delegate tasks down to where they're not that important and they're urgent. So maybe it's folding laundry, maybe it's you have a group project that you're doing with your team and you're like, hey, I don't need to be part of this exact thing. This is where you use the delegation tool kind of to your advantage. So you're able to unlock more of your time as the ultimate manager. And then last but certainly not least is the delete section, which is going to be something that is not urgent and something that is not important. So this could be likely most of the things that you decide are kind of going on in your life, whether they're priorities or non-negotiables, and really auditing that is really important. So what I like to think about is like the delete tasks are going to be something that's like, hey, maybe everything's on fire, but nothing's burning, right? So think about, hey, is the world going to end if this doesn't happen? How urgent does that have, a timeline attached to it? And then also the importance of that task, is that task going to be something that will change my health, will change my wellness, will change my job progression, will change X, Y, or Z thing. So really what it comes down to is asking those questions, asking those things as to where the task falls in kind of the Eisenhower time matrix, and then also how that's going to affect how you decide to prioritize your time and be more productive with it. So I want to talk a little bit about some actionable steps as you're kind of moving forward to be able to figure out how to best kind of utilize these tools. First things first, I think making a list of your non-negotiables is incredibly important. Make them really simple and something that you can commit to every day or week. So for me, like I said, 5 minutes of moving my body around and then one page out of a book is something I can commit to every day, no matter what, whether I'm going to a friend's wedding, whether I'm, on vacation, whether I'm doing whatever, I can commit to that. And I know that I can do that. So that's why they're part of my non-negotiables. It builds a win, builds a motivation, it builds a snowball effect so that I can kind of continue that throughout the rest of my time. The next thing I want you to do is to audit your time. Think about what's important to do. Think about what's important to schedule. Think about what you can delegate, and then think about what you can delete in your time. So, this is going to be very important to think about as far as like, hey, you've got a list of 50 things to do. And these are all priorities. These are all things that you need to kind of hammer out over the course of the next week, over the next course of the next couple of days, and really start to assign like, hey, these are things that I must do. Here are things that I can schedule to do at this other time, and then delegation and deletion. Next and last is going to be using all your newfound time, because you're going to find a lot of it after you do this, to improve your health. Because you only get one body, you only get one shot at having that body. Unfortunately, it's not something, unless you're going under the knife all the time, where you can just get a replacement. So what I would like you to do, challenge you to do, is that with the new time, use it to cook, use it to understand a new, mobility flow, find a way that you can get up and move your body around, go for a walk, do something outside, get some vitamin D, whatever that kind of looks like for you. So make sure that you're able to move your body, figure out ways that you can unlock your time. And if you like what you heard here, please give us a like. Please share it with a friend if you think it'll help them out, and follow us if you can as well. We really appreciate too if you take 5 minutes, or excuse me, 5 seconds, drop us a 5-star review. It really helps us grow and helps us more than you'll ever know. And remember, you don't stop playing because you get old. You get old because you stop playing. See you guys.